Boards, the revolt against risque roadside advertising. Should billboards be G-rated?
Next hour on Sunrise, we'll ask whether all billboard ads should be G-rated. Advertisers are certainly pushing the boundaries these days, but in the end, some would say we don't have to look at them. We're going to hear from the Woman Leading a campaign against risque billboards, but we'd like to hear from you too. Just head to the soapbox.
Do you think they go too far?
See, you say you don't have to look at them, but they are in your face. You know, if you're driving around there, right there, they're hard to avoid.
Yeah.
And also, everyone has different views on what's risque, what's not risque, your time of life, whether you've got kids, whether you don't have kids, all that sort of stuff.
So you're a little more risque now that you're mature, kids are out of home. Is that what it is?
You just give me another.
No, I can't help it, it's catching. Let's move on, shall we?
It is 7:11. Well, advertising bombards our life every day, doesn't it? But it's pretty competitive out there. So companies spend mega bucks trying to spread their message. Lately, we've seen advertisers take the big approach. They've been splashing risque slogans on billboards. So have the shock tactics, the rude slogans, become too much? Or do we need to ensure billboards are G-rated? I'm joined now by Wendy Francis, Queensland Family First Senate candidate. Good morning to you, Wendy. Now, you've been vocal before about offensive billboards, mainly the Sexpo advertising campaign. Tell us about your latest concern.
Oh, Koshi, we were all so glad when the Sexpo billboard came down. And then up on, straight in where the billboard was, goes another big slogan saying, do you want more social intercourse? So it's just always pushing the boundary, and parents like me are just getting tired of it. And so, yeah, I started up a Facebook page just saying make outdoors G-rated. That's only just over a week ago.
Yep,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, some people sort of would say, how do you draw the line? Because your expectations would be different to somebody else. Like the words social intercourse on a billboard, you know, don't seem terribly offensive to me. It's quite clever.
Yeah, no, it is very clever, and probably that goes over kids' heads, but I guess what I'm asking for is let's draw a line somewhere. So yes, it's really hard, and other people will have different opinions than me, but we do it on TV, we do it in movies, we do it in lots of other ways. And I mean, for TV, parents can actually turn it off, but when you're outside, you can't turn it off. And there's only so many ways around Brisbane that you can avoid billboards. Okay,
so how are you going to take this further? What are you asking to do?
Well, we started a Facebook page. That was simple enough.
Right.
But in less than a week, it grew to, well, it was 4 days, over 1,000 people. And so I thought, well, we've got something here that people are really concerned about. So I went to one of the billboard companies and talked to them. They were very pleasant to me, and we worked out a strategy. But a couple of days later, I got an email from them saying that they didn't want my business.
Oh.
So they're obviously in the business of not making outdoors safe for children, because all I'm asking for is it's about the kids, it's about our children.
Yeah.
We want our children to be safe.
But it's self-regulatory at the moment, so they make the decisions. Are you saying, hey, let's take it out of the industry hands and give it to, what, the Advertising Commission or the group that classifies television shows and movies and things like that? Should they take billboards on?
Well, Koshi, there's more qualified people than me that would decide that. But in 2008, June 2008, there was a Senate inquiry into this very issue because of the rising people who are saying we've had enough. Now, what the first recommendation from that Senate inquiry was that within 18 months, which was November or December in 2009, there would be a review of how things have gone. That review has never happened.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is let's do the review.
All right, okay. Good point. We'll get our viewers to have their say as well. Take care for your time this morning.
Thanks, Koshi. Thanks a lot. Bye.
What about billboards too? The call to G-rate billboards, if you like it.
Yeah, it's kind of split. I suppose most people are saying, what's the world coming to? Like Rob says, when you have to watch what we advertise on billboards, most of them would go over kids' heads. But Koshi, would you really like one of your children, says Madeline, at a very young age, reading and looking at things like this? They're just starting to ask questions. They're just starting to ask you about them. So.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you
happens in life, though. It depends on the explanation.
This one, I forget taking the kids out. I don't want to use my kids as an example all the time why we shouldn't have things. I think some of them are too rude.
But where do you draw the line? That's the thing.
Because someone's rudeness is someone's...
Humour,
Yeah.
Exactly.
maybe. Anyhow, let us know what you think.